Good morning, greetings friends, and welcome to The Bright Side, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutritional supplementation. I am your host, Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado, registered pharmacist number 12275. I specialize in using nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your vitality and to your health and well-being, and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to The Bright Side every day, you are more and more in control of your body, you are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health issue. That's why we are here every day on The Bright Side to help clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 27 years of practicing pharmacy, I have seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes and hypertension and obesity and skin diseases like psoriasis and eczema and rosacea and acne, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds, recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle. But what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure, because the human biological system is a healing system. It's a regenerating system. It is designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis. And while some folks may think that's a miracle, this healing, renewing, regenerating system is really just the way the body works. If you have questions about health or nutrition or prescription drugs, we are here for you on The Bright Side. Our number is 855-660-4261. That's 855-660-4261. If you have questions about ingredients, prescriptions, nutritional supplements, health conditions, health challenges, 855-660-4261 is your number, and we love hearing from you. Success stories, same thing. Or if you just want to contribute to the conversation, 855-660-4261. If you want to purchase any of the longevity products you hear us talk about on The Bright Side, you can head over to brightsideben.com, take a look at our shopping cart with all the longevity products, and you can also hit the Join the Team link. If you want to start a longevity business for a one-time $10 fee, you can make some money selling longevity products, make some money spreading the word about the importance of nutritional supplementation, and of course, you can enjoy the tax benefits associated with having your own business. You can also call the Bright Side Ben phone team at 866-735-2470. That's 866-735-2470. All right, welcome once again to The Bright Side. We're talking about bone building. We're talking about building in general. We're talking about fat absorption, vitamin D, and vitamin D absorption. If you have a problem with fat malabsorption, and millions of Americans do, according to Wikipedia, nearly 30% of Americans have fat malabsorption issues. That's 100 million people. Seriously significant. If you have a problem this way, you are going to have a problem absorbing vitamin D from foods and absorbing vitamin D from supplements as well. You're going to have a problem absorbing all your fatty vitamins, vitamins D, E, A, and K. You're going to have a problem absorbing nutrients from plants, phytonutrients from plants that tend to be fatty. You're going to have a lot of problems if you're dealing with fat malabsorption, and that's a lot of folks. The liver is a key player in fat absorption, maybe the key player in fat absorption, and tens of millions of Americans or more are addressing fatty liver disease too, which gets worse as we get older. Throw in gallbladder removal or gallbladder disease, throw in intestinal disease, Crohn's disease, celiac disease. A large amount of fat absorption occurs in the intestine. Throw in all of these factors and you are looking at serious problems with fat malabsorption. And the main point here, folks, is because digestion and absorption and processing of these fatty nutrients is so darn important. You just can't pop a vitamin A pill or a vitamin D pill or a vitamin E pill or a calcium supplement or a selenium supplement or essential fatty acids and expect to get the benefits. These things have to be absorbed into the body from the digestive tract, and if you're dealing with fat malabsorption problems, gallbladder problems, liver problems, intestinal problems, you could be making matters worse for yourself than if you didn't take the nutrients at all. This is why periodically you'll hear these studies that come out in the news about how calcium supplements may be problematic. It's not the calcium supplements, it's the malabsorption of the calcium supplements. These supplements that we're talking about, whether we're dealing with vitamin D or vitamin A or vitamin E or calcium or selenium, these are powerful chemicals, folks. And it's not just a question of taking them. It's a question of absorbing them. In the world of nutrition, we say it's not what you take, it's what you absorb. For women who are approaching menopause or perimenopause or have had a hysterectomy, malabsorption of fats is especially likely. And this is an important and underappreciated relationship between estrogen and female hormones and fat absorption. As estrogen levels drop, for example, one of the more likely and unfortunately poorly addressed health issues is a compromise in the ability to handle fats. And this is really a big problem because these fatty substances that postmenopausal or perimenopausal women are not going to be able to absorb or are going to have a compromised ability to absorb. These fatty substances have a special role to play in the chemistry of female hormones. So you get this vicious downward spiral where lower levels of female hormones result in poor absorption of phytonutrients and fatty nutrients, which results in more defects in female hormones, which results in more defects in absorbing fatty nutrients, and you get this downward vicious spiral that we see so often in the world of biology, in the world of nutrition. And by the way, phytonutrients, phytoestrogens specifically, these plant compounds that can act like hormones, that can support the hormone system, those aren't going to be absorbed either. Phytoestrogens are associated with reductions in obesity. Phytoestrogens are associated with improvements in blood sugar. So if you're not absorbing your phytonutrients, your plant nutrients, you're going to be running higher risks for obesity, higher risk for diabetes, higher risk for skin problems because these phytonutrients and phytoestrogens are also protective against the sun. All of this is to say, folks, that utilization and absorption of fatty nutrients and fat absorption chemistry is super, super relevant, super, super important when it comes to understanding our health in general and bone building health specifically. So first of all, when it comes to addressing the fatty compartment of the body, fatty nutrients, fat absorption, we want to determine whether our health issue has a fatty component that needs to be addressed. In the case of osteoporosis, vitamin D, vitamin A, calcium, all of these function in the fatty compartment of the body. To get an understanding of the relatively complicated nature of fat utilization compared to watery substances, think about washing dishes. When you're cleaning your dishes, you got two kinds of grime, two kinds of food matter that you need to take care of. Think about silverware and plates with peanut butter and jelly on them. Peanut butter and jelly are a rough approximation of fatty substances and watery substances. Peanut butter being oil, we say lipophilic. Lipophilic means fat-loving. And jelly being watery, we say hydrophilic. Hydro means water, hydrophilic, water-loving. So peanut butter and jelly on your silverware are a rough approximation of fat material or fatty substances and watery substances in food. In your dishes, the jelly pretty much rinses right off. The peanut butter, that doesn't rinse right off. The peanut butter is actually repellent to water. Remember, oil and water don't mix. So how do you get the peanut butter off effectively? Well, you got to pre-mix it with some kind of substance that is attracted to its fatty nature so it can pre-mix with the peanut butter and at the same time also combine with water from your tap. In other words, you have to mix the peanut butter with some kind of substance that has a fatty side to it and a watery side to it, that has a fatty nature to it and a watery nature to it. You know what we call that substance that we mix the peanut butter with that has a fatty substance and a fatty nature and a watery nature to it? We call it soap. We call it dishwashing soap. That's what dishwashing soap is. That's what any soap is. Any soap is a chemical or a molecule that has a fatty side to it and a watery side to it. The fatty side attaches to the grime or the peanut butter, and the watery side attaches to the water from the tap. And you pre-mix the grime with this soapy material that has a watery nature and a fatty nature, and what happens when it combines with the water? It rinses right off. That's how soap works. A soap is, by chemical definition, literally, a soap is by definition a substance that has a fatty nature and a watery nature. Technically, a soap is called an emulsifying agent. You probably have heard this term, emulsifying agents. Emulsifying agents are nothing more than chemicals that have a fatty nature to them and a watery nature to them, and it allows them to combine with fats in foods, in the case of soap, or in dirt, in the case of soap, shower gels or shower soaps, and then a watery side that combines with water that's coming out of the tap. Technically, we call that an emulsifying agent because an emulsion is a combination of water and oil. Why does this have an important relevance when it comes to health? Hang tight. We'll talk about that when we come back. The bright side, 855-660-4261 is our number, and we do have a couple lines open for you. You guys don't wait till the last minute. I try to get as many calls in as I can, and I want to spend as much time as I need to with all our calls, so please try to call in earlier. Don't wait till the last segment. 855-660-4261 is our number. If you want to purchase any of the longevity products you hear advertised on the program, you can head over to my website, brightsideben.com, and take a look at our shopping cart. With all the longevity products, you can also call the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470. And, of course, you can always ask them about joining the Brightside Ben team and starting a longevity business, making some money selling longevity products and enjoying all the tax benefits associated with having your own business. Okay, we're talking about fat malabsorption, very underappreciated health issue. It doesn't matter what you're taking. It matters what you're absorbing. And because we've been emphasizing fatty nutrients so much here on this program, I thought it would be important. I thought it would be relevant to talk a little bit about how the body absorbs fats. Think peanut butter and jelly, jelly being watery, peanut butter being fatty. That's a rough approximation of the fatty components of food and the watery components of food. Jelly, no problem processing off your silverware, off your dishes. Peanut butter, a little bit different. In order to get that peanut butter off, you've got to pre-mix it with something that's got a fatty side that will stick to the peanut butter and a watery side that will attract water. And the combination of the water and this material that sticks to the peanut butter, and the peanut butter can rinse right off. We call that magical substance, if you will, that's got a watery side and a fatty side to it. We call it a soap, or more technically, we call it an emulsifying agent, because an emulsion is a combination of water and oil. So if you're going to be able to process, i.e. wash, your peanut butter off your silverware and plates, you're going to have to emulsify it. Are you guys seeing where I'm going with this? Our peanut butter represents our fatty nutrients, our vitamins, our vitamin D, E, A, K, our minerals, selenium, calcium, and essential fatty acids. And don't forget about vitamin D, which we're talking about today. Vitamin D is super, mega important, but you can't just take vitamin D if you're not absorbing it. Do you know one of the side effects of vitamin D deficiency is muscle pain and muscle weakness? How many of you guys out there are dealing with chronic muscle pain and muscle weakness, and you think it's fibromyalgia or chronic fatigue syndrome? You may even think it's a joint problem like arthritis, and it may just be muscle weakness or fatigue or joint weakness and fatigue caused by vitamin D deficiency, secondary to problems absorbing fatty nutrients. So what exactly are biological or food emulsifying agents? What exactly is the body's soap, if you will? Well, you only have to listen to the bright side once or twice to know about what I consider to be one of the most important fluids in the body next to blood. And it's the body's soap, the body's emulsifying agent, the body's dishwashing soap, if you will. Of course, I'm talking about bile. B-I-L-E, bile, perhaps the most underappreciated of all the body substances, certainly one of the most underappreciated of all the body substances. The bile system is the body's detergent system, and folks, it is the key player in helping the body wash or helping the body release fatty nutrients from foods, as well as helping the body get those fatty nutrients into the liver, which is the primary organ of fat metabolism. In fact, while the stomach and the intestine, the pancreas, these are all very important structures when it comes to helping the body exploit, take advantage of fatty nutrients, none of these structures can hold a candle to bile and the liver, and for that matter, the gallbladder, when it comes to processing fatty nutrients. And keep in mind here, we're talking about bone health. We're talking about the health of the bone. If you listen to the zillions of healthcare shows out there, you listen to Dr. Oz type mainstream medicine, or even, unfortunately, many alternative healthcare practitioners and naturopaths talk about bone health, you're definitely going to be hearing about calcium. You may even be hearing about vitamin D. You may hear about magnesium, but rarely will you ever hear anyone telling you about the key role of your gallbladder. That's right, your gallbladder is critically important important for making sure your bones are strong. The liver, same thing. Bile, same thing. All of these are very important for helping the body leverage bone-building nutrition. If you don't have a gallbladder, if you suspect fat malabsorption, if you got liver problems, fatty liver disease, if you've had a hysterectomy, if you're